Good evening. We, the unwilling, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much for so long with so little. We are now qualified to do anything with nothing.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in this kind of behavior again. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday as well.
You're Robert Ramsey.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ramsey, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, officers observed a 2007 gray Toyota Solara traveling at 100 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone. Officers caught up to the vehicle and conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed an open bottle of whiskey in the front passenger area. The defendant admitted to having a few swigs of that whiskey. The officer observed slurred speech, confused demeanor. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6. Walk-in turn, a 6 out of 8. 6 out of 6 on the HDN, 6 out of 8 on the walk-in turn, and 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to breath, which came back to a 0.199 and a 0.208.
Did you say field sobriety tests were done or no?
Yes, they were.
Okay, I missed it. So
I'm
the
sorry.
Zoned out.
SFSTs were a 6 out of 6 on the HDN, a 6 out of 8 on the walk-in turn, and a 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand.
got it. Okay, and you said, are you telling me that he's consuming alcohol while driving? Mr. Ramsey, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I am now taking away your ability to drive. I am now making that a condition of your bond. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. This is an affidavit that you're going to sign, promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I at least request an interlock device rather than, a no driving affidavit? That would
He's going
guarantee-
100 and he's allegedly taking swigs. What? No driving. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
May I at least make the argument?
Sure.
Sure. So he does have to drive to get to work. I understand the accusations against him. I also believe that there's some falsehoods in the accusations against him, Your Honor. We don't have any videos, we don't have any evidence yet on the case, other than just the DIMS report here. So, like I said, in reference to the alcohol being, guaranteeing the safety of the community, I would ask that the interlock be installed rather than it being a no driving affidavit. As far as the driving quickly, I'm sure that, he won't drive that quickly anymore, and he will swear that he will not speed or do anything else. We can say if he gets a ticket or something like that for speeding, Your Honor, that then we'd, accede to or agree to the no driving affidavit, Your Honor. But I do think the interlock device would fully guarantee the safety of the public in terms of him not being able to drive and then operate the vehicle.
Ready to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. I'm taking away your privilege to drive for the moment. I don't care. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not absolute, but I want you to understand that this is a privilege. It's not a right. You want a right? Take your hat and feet and walk from one place to the other. That's a right. This is a privilege. And if you look on the news every single day, someone dies in our county from an intoxication, assault, crash, whatever it may be. No. Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Stewart. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, ducking, dodging phone calls, you pick up a new case, you know what happens.
Yes, sir.
For now, I'm gonna have you come up here, store touch it, you're not gonna drive. I'll get you to Victoria, sign a reset. You will get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. All right. It's not absolute. After some time, show me some proactivity, and then we can talk.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
Judge, next is page 8, Lemus, Spanish speaker. Lemus, come on up. Eric?
Yes.
You are Eric Lemus.
Lemus. Eric Lemus. Eric Lemus.
So Lemus, you're charged with reckless driving. You are facing up to 30 days in jail
Hasta 30 días.
and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March
El
15th,
15 de marzo
2025,
del 2025,
officers were working a
oficiales estaban
street
trabajando
racing takeover
en
operation
una operación
at
de la calle
909
de
Shepherd Drive
909
in
Shepherd
Harris
Drive en
County,
Condado Harris,
Texas.
Texas.
The officer
Los
observed a
oficiales
vehicle
observaron
fail
un
to signal in lane
vehículo que no
change and run a red light while
hizo la,
oncoming traffic was present.
y venía tráfico. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yes. The officer
Los
observed the
oficiales observaron
vehicle
un
fail to
vehículo que
signal a
no
lane
puso su
change
señal para cambiar el
and run a
carril
red
y se
light
pasó una luz roja
with oncoming
con
traffic.
tráfico que venía en su contra.
The vehicle then
El vehículo
continued
entonces
to lead
continuó
between lanes
a pasar entre los carriles
at speeds
hacia de un
exceeding
carril a otro
60 miles per hour
en la velocidad de hasta
in a
60 millas
35 miles per hour
hora
zone.
en una zona de 35 millas por hora.
The passenger was
El pasajero
seen
se
hanging
vio
out of the window
por la ventana, la ventanilla,
while the vehicle was in
mientras el
motion.
vehículo estaba en marcha.
A traffic stop was
Se hizo
initiated.
un alto.
The defendant denied
El
his actions and the
el
officer
acusador negó sus acciones al
the officer
oficial. El
informed him
oficial
that
le
they would be on
informó
camera.
que estaban en cámara.
Officer informed what?
El
The
oficial
defendant
observó
that they
que
would be on camera,
el
the dash
acusado
cam.
estaba
Okay, so
grabado en
just pulls him
cámara.
out. Does he ask for a license, insurance, anything like that? Just pulls him out and arrests him?
At that point, they did,
En ese
I believe they
momento,
arrested him for
creo que lo
reckless driving.
arrestaron por manejo imprudente.
Yes, you. Mr. Lemus, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run him to see if he has a Texas driver's license, please?
He does not have a
Pregunta si tiene licencia de manejar.
license.
No tiene licencia.
Mr. Lemus,
Limas.
if you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, then you
Seguro,
are not allowed to drive.
permite manejar.
That is a condition of your bond.
Son
If I
fianza.
find that you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission
En
and
este
you go to
país,
jail and immigration finds you because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with.
él bajo custodia hasta
And then
que
you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
él lo entiende. Tiene que estar-
Yes or no?
Sí o no? Yes.
How old are you, sir?
¿Qué edad tiene usted, señor?
17.
17.
Okay. I will provide you a lawyer today. So what we'll do is I'll have you fill out an application for me for a court-appointed lawyer.
Para una
I'm going to have you sign your reset with Victoria. I will have you take a seat in the jury box while we find you a lawyer. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
arresto.
Okay, please, Deputy Rand, if you don't mind.
All right.
So
Judge
can you
Counsel,
file no
the
driving?
motion For
Please.
page 11,
Abigail,
Payne,
you
come
file
on
no
up.
driving
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
then without a license in it.
Vicente.
Hi, Herman.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Hey, man.
Mr. Payne, if you want to read along when the prosecutor does, you can read right there. It says, Vicente Payne, Your Honor, page 11 per Victoria.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Payne.
Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th at approximately 11:22 p.m., the officers were dispatched to a 911 call regarding a three-way motor vehicle crash at the intersection of Spencer Highway and 11th Street in Harris County, Texas. The defendant's motor vehicle was identified by his Texas license plate. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed slurred speech, red glassy eyes, a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, and poor balance. During the investigation, it was apparent that the defendant's motor motor vehicle failed to yield the right of way for left turn, causing the defendant's vehicle to strike Unit 2, causing Unit 2 to strike Unit 3. All parties involved advised at the time of the collision the defendant was operating his motor vehicle. The defendant advised that he consumed 3 tall boy Michelob Ultras at a residence prior to operating the motor vehicle. One open container was found cold to the touch and was located on the right outside of the defendant's motor vehicle's driver's side door, and that the defendant was advised that that was his 4th beer. SMSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 7 out of 8 on the walk-in turn, and a 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant was placed into custody and was transported to the police station. The DIC was read and sentenced to breath, which the results were a .234 and a .230.
Are you telling me that he had alcohol in the car and he's
Yes, Your Honor.
drinking while he's driving as well?
I cannot tell you whether he was drinking while he was driving, but alcohol was found in the vehicle.
Where was it?
It was found in the vehicle, on the driver's side door.
Mr. Payne, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You could be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, may I request, I understand why the court is concerned about this case. Can we just limit it so he can just drive for the certain hours of the day so he can support himself to do the necessary things in his home with the interlock device and or scram device as well? I mean, it's hard, as you know, in Houston, Texas, it's hard for someone to be able to live where we have without any public transportation or anything to get around. If we can just limit his driving just to the specific hours that the court allows.
How old are you, sir?
21.
He's 21. He has beer in the car and he's a .26.
2-3, I thought, but I mean, I'm not to quibble, but yes.
No, you are not
Because the
to
bond conditions just
drive.
seem a bit egregious considering it's first off.
I understand, Herman, and I would recognize, or I would understand that it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you're driving. And there's a 3-car collision. He's a .23 with alcohol in the car. No, I don't want you driving. And I'm telling you now, if I find that you do, there's going to be HE double hockey sticks to pay. Do you understand? You're also not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, you will be spending quite some time with me.
Will you reconsider the order or the condition, Judge?
I will always do it. Yes. I want some time to pass
Sure.
and I want to see some proactivity, Herman, and I'm always all ears. But for the moment, I don't want him anywhere near a car.
Is his appearance waived as long as he's maintaining his conditions, Judge?
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court. But Mr. Payne, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my city at all costs. If that means putting you in custody, I don't care. If you have Jesus here arguing on your behalf, I will protect my city at all costs. Do you understand?
So,
All right, I'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'm going to get you to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with the police if you're bond conditions, then you're free to go. Thanks, sir.
All right, Judge, next is page 1. Bodon, Douglas.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Bodon? Good morning, Mr. Bodon. So you're charged with failure to stop and give information after striking a highway fixture. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025 at approximately 11 a.m., officers were dispatched to the 10,400 block of North Tree Hollow Circle in LaPorte, Texas, in Harris County, in reference to a minor accident where a vehicle struck a light pole. The officer was advised by dispatch that a witness observed the suspect leaving the scene and were provided a description of the vehicle. The officer began to check the area and observed that a vehicle that matched the description with wiring hanging out of the front of the vehicle and front end damage. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed several car parts, including a front bumper in plain view. The defendant stated that he struck the light pole and left the scene because nobody else was involved. Centerpoint, the light pole company, stated that the cost to repair would be approximately $3,000.
Mr. Bodon, I'm going to go find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license to see if he has a valid license, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand? Good. These are your bond conditions. If I find that you violate these conditions, if you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
Yes.
Okay, we'll give you time to hire a lawyer. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be on your way. All right? Do not pick up any new cases. All right? Do you mind filing those no driving without insurance as well? A Texas driver license and insurance.
All right, next is page 2. Bookman, come on up.
Good morning.
And you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On March 14th, 2025, at approximately 12:32 a.m., an officer observed the defendant outside of her vehicle twerking at a red light intersection. The defendant,
Twerking?
yes, sir. The defendant then returned to her car and drove southbound down Montrose Boulevard. The officer observed the vehicle failed to signal a lane change multiple times. A traffic stop was initiated. Officer observed the defendant to have the mild odor of alcohol upon her breath, slurred speech, and glassy eyes. The officer asked the defendant to exit the vehicle, and the defendant stated she had 2 glasses of gin with champagne at a bar. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN, 3 out of 8 clues observed on the walk and turn, 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath test at 1:18 a.m. Then at 2:20 a.m., she said she did not consent. A blood search warrant was signed and executed at 3:06 a.m.
All right. Any prior to be honest?
No prior, Judge.
License?
Eligible.
Ms. Bookman, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, we will give you time. So what I will have you do is I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Fleischer your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to
All right.
go.
Thank
When you
you.
come back, please have a lawyer.
Okay.
Please.
All right, Judge, next is page 4, Garcia. This was the one council.
Right, from yesterday? Yeah, I remember. Good morning, Mr. Garcia. Your lawyer came by here yesterday. We did probable cause. I'm gonna now find probable cause. I mean, let's do it just for,
Okay.
so he can hear it, but you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On March 15th, 2025, an officer was working at crash scene in Pasadena, Harris County, Texas. At approximately 1:15 a.m., the officer heard tires squeal and a vehicle collision a short distance away. The officer observed a vehicle had collided with a fully marked police vehicle with emergency lights activated. The officer observed the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant to appear confused and have glassy eyes. The defendant exited the vehicle and the officer observed red glassy eyes, slurred speech, uncoordinated and lethargic movement, and the odor of alcohol emitting from his person. The defendant admitted to drinking 2 beers. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN, 3 out of 8 clues on the walk and turn, 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to provide a breath specimen. The results were 0.134 and 0.123.
No prior DWS, right?
No prior DWS.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I am ordering you not to consume alcohol. Do you speak English, right?
Sorry.
Okay, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Do not pick up any new cases. You've got a great lawyer. Listen to him and he'll take care of you. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Legrand and he'll tell you when you have to come. All right?
Sorry.
I'll have you go to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions and then you're free to go.
All right, Judge, page 5. Yeah, come on up.
Is it Gaston or
Gaston.
Gaston? Mr. Gaston, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with evading arrest or detention and unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine on both of those cases. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On March 14th, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle speeding on Gulf Freeway feeder by radar device going 72 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The officer then observed the vehicle turn left at a red light. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer instructed the driver to step out of the vehicle, and the officer began to detain the driver. As the officer was detaining the driver, the front passenger, the defendant, exited the vehicle. The officer instructed the defendant to return to the vehicle, and the defendant ignored the officer's instructions and started to walk away. The officer ordered the defendant to stop, and the defendant started running northbound. The officer observed the defendant place his left hand near the front of his waistband and throw a small black and blue object near a fence. The officer informed other officers of the defendant's location. Officers observed the defendant running eastbound on the 3,300th block of Scott Street and attempted to apprehend the defendant. The defendant was apprehended at the 3,100th block of Milby Street, approximately 0.2 miles away from the scene. The officers searched the area and located a firearm. The officer remained in visual contact with the location and no individuals approached that area.
What are they doing wrong? I mean, the officer just stops them and just arrests them? What for?
I'm not sure why the officer immediately detained him.
Really? Is that what we do now? We just stop and arrest? No, I'm gonna find no probable cause in your case. Just be careful, man. If you got a gun, God forbid you use it, something happens, you dig yourself in a hole. Come on, man. We got one life. Be smart. Go to school, get some knowledge, make a ton of money, you know? Take a seat, please. Thanks, bud.
What was the last name, Judge?
Gaston,
Okay.
on both, no PC.
All right, Judge, next is page 6.
Did they arrest the driver? I mean, did they charge him with anything? Do you know? Do we have him for anything?
No, there's no connected cases.
Just driving while black.
Your Honor, I would just, I'm gonna point that out here. It was a speeding stop where the passenger was getting out of the car. I would say the officer would have the right to at least make sure the passenger was in the car while he was conducting a stop. That's his.
Yes.
I don't even think that's an arrestable offense. You know? It's not an arrestable offense. They just literally pull him out, he's speeding and they arrest him. And then the co-defendant's doing nothing wrong. He just gets out of the car. He can just walk away. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. Who's this?
Page 6, Payne.
Good morning, Ms. Hyon. You're charged with violation of a sexually oriented enterprise. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. All right.
On March 15th, 2025, the defendant was performing at the library a sexually oriented enterprise without a license to entertain displayed on her person in violation of ordinance section 28-256A. And that ordinance states that each manager or entertainer shall conspicuously display his or her personal card upon their person at all times while acting as an entertainer or manager
That's
of the
where I think-
enterprise.
Am I correct that you have to have a license, correct?
I believe that is the code, yes, Your Honor. Yes, you have to have a license. I will double check that though.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna appoint you a lawyer right now. We'll dig deeper into this because I want to know if there's sufficient probable cause to go forward. We'll pull the statute. The problem is I got a whole crew of people that we need to get through. It's gonna take some time, so just be patient and we'll get to you.
Your Honor, I do have statute up, but I do want to leave.
But let me get a defense lawyer just in case. Do you mind appointing our lawyer? Or if you don't be so kind, just take a seat, but do not leave, man, please. We'll come back.
All right, Judge, next is page 7. Jenkins, come on up.
The library, that's what it's called,
Yeah,
really?
Your Honor, I'm surviving.
Okay. The library? I want to go to the library. Oh, all right, Ms. Jenkins, you were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
on March 15th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched to a family dispute. The officer met with the defendant and stated that the complainant is her common-law husband. The defendant stated that the defendant attacked her and physically pulled her out of a vehicle and slapped her twice. The officer then met with the complainant, who stated that the defendant attacked him and by striking him multiple times in his face, bit him on his nipple and felt a sharp pain on the back of his neck. The officer observed the defendant to have a bite mark on his nipple and a scratch mark on the back of his neck. Officers then spoke with a witness who stated they observed the defendant attack the complainant and continue even after they intervened. Officers observed no injuries on the defendant.
Any priors against us?
No.
And do we know what he wants? Ms. Jenkins, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, the state can and will probably file a violation protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. I don't know if this person wants to have contact with you. So until I know, I'm going to order you not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons.
So he would still like contact from what I can read here.
Is that from
He
a
said he
rip?
wants, it's from a rip.
When was it performed?
The rip was performed today at 9:14 a.m.
Okay, what?
He basically said that he wants to drop the charges.
I'm ordering you not to have any threatening or harassing contact against this person. You need to understand that what is threatening or harassing, it doesn't matter what you think, is what he perceives. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll take a look at it to see whether you qualify. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. Do not leave until you sign. Okay?
Okay.
Please.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. And then do you mind filing no threatening, harassing, and no weapons? Please?
Next, Judge, is page 9. Otto, come on up.
What a terrible name, the library. I mean, what kids go, I want to go to the library. You know, kids are
Well,
terrible
hopefully they
name.
have somebody at the door checking IDs.
Yeah. Sheesh. What?
Page 9, Otto.
Good morning, Mr. Otto. Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 10:15 PM, an officer initiated a traffic stop at the 5804th block of Southwest Freeway on a black Alfa Romeo. The officer observed the motor vehicle weaving in and out of traffic at high speeds, endangering other motorists on the road, almost striking multiple motor vehicles. The officer had to increase his speeds up to 100 miles per hour to catch up to the motor vehicle and traveled about 6.1 miles. The defendant admitted to driving over 100 miles per hour in an attempt to catch up with another motor vehicle. A NCIC TCIC check revealed the motor vehicle had no valid insurance. The defendant was identified by his Illinois driver's license.
So can you run him to see if he does have a license?
His Illinois driver's license is valid.
Mr. Otto, I am forwarding you as a condition of your bond not to drive maniacally again. If I find that you drive like this and put other lives in danger, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Sir.
No reckless driving, racing, street takeovers, anything of this manner. If I find, first thing, I'm going to put you in jail. The next thing, I'm going to take your ability to drive away. Living in a city this big without the ability to drive blows. Do you understand?
Sir.
Do you mind filing this condition, please?
Yes, sir.
You're also not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance in your name, car insurance. If you don't have car,
Those are running.
okay. I don't care if you're driving the Dodge Patas. If you don't have car insurance, you're not to drive. Do you understand?
Sure.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
Yes.
Did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Okay, we will give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. So we'll get your bond conditions. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, and then we'll let you go hire a lawyer. Please.
Judge, can you sign bond conditions for Douglas Bodon?
Yeah.
Patterson, come on up, age 10.
What was your last name?
Patterson.
Morning, Mr. Patterson. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to, have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On March 14th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer met with the complainant who stated that the defendant is his stepfather. The complainant stated the defendant was not happy with the yard work the complainant had done and punched him in the face several times. The officer observed the defendant to have a bloody nose, swollen lip, and bruising. The defendant admitted to punching the complainant in the face due to the complainant throwing a bottle of water at him. So the defendant stated that he punched the complainant in the face because the complainant threw a bottle of water at him. Complainant said he punched him in the face because he was unhappy with the yard work he did.
Do we know whether they want to have continued contact or no?
We have not been able to get into contact with the complainant yet, Judge.
So, Mr. Patterson, there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you not to have any contact with this person, not to be in possession of weapons. These are your bond conditions. If you violate these conditions, well, first of all, you have a protective order. If you violate the protective order, they can file additional cases against you. A violation of a protective order, it's one of the worst cases you can pick up. And in our assault, if you violate those conditions, I will revoke this bond. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So no contact, no weapons. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
I'll have you fill out an application. I'll look to see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have in the bank, what kind of, everything about you, and then I'll take a look to see if you qualify. Deputy Miranda, do you mind giving me an application, please? I'll have you sign a receipt. Victoria will have you take a seat. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right.
Great, Judge, next.
You might
is
find no
page
contact.
13, Saldana, come on up.
Looks like it's amended to
Allow, okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm following this one. I came in with the violation of the.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm going to go to your residence because I'm giving you.
Thank you. Please. Get you going. Hey. Hey, Vic. On Heyman, cancel the lawyer. They're gonna nominate it. Deputy Chigon, on Miss Heyman, can you tell her that her case has been dismissed? She's free to go. Miss Heyman, if she wants to wait for dismissal, she can have to wait a bit, but it's being dismissed.
This is page 13,
Okay?
Saldana.
Good morning, Mr. Saldana.
Morning, Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th, 2025, at 4:05 a.m., an officer observed the defendant operating a vehicle with an obstructed windshield. The defendant's vehicle was observed to have front end damage that included a hood that was damaged and open with the bumper in the engine compartment. A traffic stop was initiated. The defendant had slurred speech, glassy red eyes, and a strong odor of alcohol on his breath. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues observed on the HGN, 2 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand, 4 out of 8 clues observed on the walk and turn. The defendant consented to a breath test. The results were 0.144 and 0.129.
Douglas Bodon.
What's the stop for? Because he's got a beat up car. Right?
Yes, so it states that he had an obstructed windshield due to the damage that to his vehicle.
It's a illusory statement though.
Yes,
How?
Judge, because the front end damage, the driver of the vehicle would not be able to see out of the front windshield, and it was considered a safety hazard.
Does it say how? I mean, how? Like,
What the damage was or
what's
how it
the,
was.
how is the obstruction?
The states that the hood was damaged, the front hood was damaged and open. bumper-
To where it's facing, to where it blocks his, I guess, field of vision?
It states that the windshield was obstructed, so. It's right.
Hmm. I guess I'll find probable cause for now, and then we'll talk to defense lawyer, and if they can show me something differently, I guess I'll revisit it. Mr. Saldana, I'm gonna find probable cause for now. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm gonna test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or drugs, it's not gonna go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any prior DWIs, and does he have a license?
He does have an eligible driver's license, Your Honor, and no prior DWIs.
Okay. You are also not allowed to drive unless you have car insurance in your name. You must maintain liability insurance. That is also a bond condition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you get your bond conditions with Felicia, and then after that, you'll be free to go. All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
please. Oh, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a lawyer with the Texas Defense Criminal Group, I believe is their name.
You have a lawyer?
No, where's it at? Oh, Gibbons. Saldana. Oh, yes, Gibbons is attached. He didn't print out on the docket.
Oh,
So we can.
okay, so let's do this. Let's wait for your lawyer. Is your lawyer gonna come here? Do you know?
They haven't, I texted them this morning and they haven't responded.
Okay, so let's do this. I'll have you sign and get all the paperwork ready. I'll have you wait a little bit to see if they show up, and then because we need to get a good date So I'll have you sit, just wait a bit to see if they come. If they don't, then we'll reach out to them. Okay?
Thank you.
Please, for sure.
All right, Judge, page 13, Selena, Solana.
Good morning, Mr. Salinas. Sir, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
I apologize, Judge. My internet is.
That's okay.
Okay. An investigator called the number listed in the city of Houston for McCall Gill, who stated that he had not worked for Premium Care in 3 or 4 years. The investigator found the defendant to be Craig McPherson. Officer conducted a search on Craig McPherson, was not able to locate EMS.
Is this the right office?
Sorry,
report?
yes, I think I apologize, Judge. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you. Here, I'll just leave it. And I think it might be out of order. Oh, hold on.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing I did.
Okay.
Is it crotch or something?
Sorry. No, Your Honor, just our notes are all backwards, so that's on me. I'm sorry. There it is. On May 23rd, 2023, the complainant made a report that his scooter was stolen and it was worth approximately $600. The complainant provided the serial number. On August 5th, 2024, the officer received a hit from Leads Online, which noted that the defendant pawned the scooter. The officer went to that Easy Pawn location at 12303 Bel Air and met with the complainant, who stated that the defendant pawned the scooter for $100. The complainant was able to provide the officer with the defendant's driver's license, and surveillance video showed that the identity of the defendant matched the video.
Yeah,
The
but
driver's
you know that
license.
he took the scooter from the place, from wherever it was, how do we know that someone didn't give it to him? I get it that he's pawned. I mean, perhaps, possession of stolen property, but theft.
So the allegation is the complainant is not the owner of the scooter, it's a pawn shop. So the allegation here is that the defendant,
Well, he's charged with theft, right? So he has to steal it.
by acquiring or accessory.
Right, you have to acquire.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm reading the-
Here, all he's doing is he's pawning it.
Ramsey?
It's a specific thing crime, so we have to,
The intent to deprive the pawn shop. So I think
well, the pawn shop is not it's the person who owned the scooter, which would be Mr. Elatari. That is the actual complainant because it's his scooter that gets stolen, but we just don't know who steals it. We know that he pawns it, right? We get these so much and it just, the problem is that the legwork would be somehow, okay, we get it, go back to the complaining witness and then somehow see if is there a ring video that sees him stealing it, then, so, right. It is what it is. Mr. Salinas, I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. Please be careful. We're not asking for much. All we want our streets to be safe. You know what I mean? All right, please.
All right, Judge, next, page 14, Sanchez, come on up.
sorry. No, does that make sense? Yes, yeah. And also.
Good morning, Mr. Sanchez. Sir, you were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Judge Sanchez. On March 14th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance. Upon arrival, the officers observed the defendant attempting to force entry into the residence. The officer met with the complainant, who stated that the defendant is her boyfriend of 6 years. The complainant stated that the defendant arrived intoxicated and became angry after she told him that he was intoxicated. The defendant then forced his way into the bedroom, grabbed the complainant by the hair and pinned her to the bed while he scratched her under the eye, causing pain. The officer observed a visible scratch.
Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I am now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? I am also ordering you not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of any weapons. There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate this protective order, the state can and will file a violation protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do you understand?
Sir?
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, we will give you time. I will have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We will have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. I'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. Please.
Judge, these are for
No
me.
contact, no weapons, please. Oh, no, don't worry about it. You're right. Yeah, because he's being monitored. Yeah, sorry. So no alcohol, drugs, randoms,
No contact.
no contact, no weapons. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, Judge, next is 815. Staff and co-defendant.
Uloa. Stapp and Uloa, up, please. Ladies, both of you are charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On February 25th, 2025, at approximately 12:57, officers arrived to a Target store at 2580 Stern Street in Harris County, Texas, for a theft in progress. The complainant stated that the defendants passed all points of sale without paying for the merchandise. The officer viewed security footage and saw that the footage of the defendant and the co-defendant passed all points of sale without paying for items that were selected and placed in either the shopping cart or inside the defendant's purse. The total amount stolen was $546.45.
Are they together? They both stole
Yes,
the
Your
whole
Honor,
thing?
they were both together and they both had.
Okay. All right, ladies, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering both of you not to go to any Target for any reason. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, if I find that you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you guys have the ability to hire a lawyer? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? I'm going to have you both fill out applications. We'll see whether you qualify. And I need to know everything about you, okay? How old are you, man? How old are you, man? Okay. Deputy Miranda, do you mind giving the applications? We're going to have you, I'm going to have bond conditions created for you to sign. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I will issue a warrant, okay? All right, please. No going to Target for both.
Go ahead and sign this.
Any Target.
All right, Judge, next is page 15, Torres.
You are Miguel Torres. Sir. Mr. Torres, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th, 2025 at 3:34 a.m., officers made a traffic stop and asked for a second officer to make scene as well. The officer observed a silver Chevrolet Malibu with no headlights on. The officer approached the driver's side and observed the defendant to be behind the wheel. And
Hold on a second. Ladies, move away from each other, please. Miss Uloa. Okay.
The officer approached the driver's side and observed the defendant to be behind the wheel and operating the vehicle. The officer observed glassy eyes and odor of an alcoholic beverage. The second officer, a DRE, observed a mild odor of an alcoholic beverage, bloodshot eyes, and unsteady balance. The defendant stated that he was coming from the library and drank 2 beers. 18
The library?
from a library. I don't know. Your Honor.
Sure. Popular
and then-
library, I tell you.
He drank 2 beers 18 to 24 hours ago. SMSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HDN, a 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 3 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The defendant was arrested and declined to provide a sample, so a blood warrant was signed.
I forgot what the stop was. What was the stop for?
No headlights at night.
Mr. Torres, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Can you run him to see if he has any priority WIs and if he has a driver's license?
Not any priority WIs. His license is ineligible.
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 You are not allowed to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life and I don't care what you got to do. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kittens. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand? Sir, you will be signing an affidavit with me today. This is a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not to drive. There's no justification that you can give for getting into a car and driving. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Hire a lawyer. Yes, sir. Okay, we are going to give you time. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. After that, you will get the Felicia for your bond condition. And after that, you're free to go. Be careful and protect my community, because if I find that you're a danger to it, it's not going to go well for you. You understand? Okay, come on.
Judge, that was the last one for now.
I know why you're here.
Almost for that
It's been a
same
week.
exact jacket, Judge.
Nice. How are you?
Good.
It's good to see you, Greg.
Why am I here, Judge?
I know why you're here. It's been a week and I'm not ready yet. I'm telling you, it's been a week.
You can't
I
even-
know.
You can't hear my speech.
I will. You know what? You're right. Please.
All I would say is, unlike those others that you said today, there was no allegation speeding accident. It was an expired registration. She took your stern admonishment very seriously. She hasn't even attempted to operate any wheeled vehicle since then.
I would hope not.
Yeah, but she's not even riding her bike.
Well, I don't, you can ride a bike.
Do you have a timeline?
No, but I want to see some proactivity at the very minimum.
If I bring
I
you
want to know that you really appreciate it, you know. It's never forever. I'm not that obtuse, you know, but I want to know that you truly appreciate it and you really see that, hey, I mean, I now understand that this is really, you know.
But you can see from the defense side.
Yes,
the
and that's why I say it's not absolute.
I know I'm saying from the vagueness of that. It's hard to advise my client and people to make driving arrangements and all those things. I do think she's taking it very seriously. It's an expired registration, unknown VAC. So I have her take victim impact panel.
Hey,
I'm
Write a letter.
like something like
I'm gonna have her write a letter.
driving wise,
This is just.
you know, like, I don't know, just, you know,
Is it the task or the time?
both. But I'm telling you, it's not absolute, but I want a little bit to pass.
So
It's
can we
been a
have
week.
less time than, say, the guy who had an accident? Or
Yeah,
that I think the allegation was a solo cut that we're still waiting to get discovery, whatever.
okay.
I don't want to waste your time or mine of reapproaching you every week.
Like a couple weeks, show me that she like truly appreciates it, and then we'll talk.
Does she need to be here? So I'll put her
So I want to admonish her.
off docket, and you want to put her on docket.
No, put on.
So I'll wait and I'll just call and put her on docket.
Okay.
And then we'll readdress it.
Yeah.
All right, Judge, always good to see you.
Greg, take care.
Time goes by, instructions, who contacts the trust services about it.
Hi. Good morning. Yes, Maria.
Good morning, Judge.
Hi.
I'm approaching on Manuel Kuch. And I
Yes.
got assigned to him yesterday, Judge, and he's in felony court this morning.
Okay. I guess what we'll do is let's roll it to Monday and then we can talk Monday. He picked up a lot of very bad cases.
Yes, sir.
He's on bond for one of our cases here and Ixnay on the bond, you know, but I want to do it when he's here. And he's obviously not here because he's in felony court now. So let's roll it to Monday and then we can address it then.
Yes, sir, on Monday. And then also I am assigned to Neil White, and he's in processing this morning. He's got a bond violation report filed against him,
You
and he's set for bond forfeiture, but he is in custody,
have him here today?
not this morning. Monday also?
He's supposed, guys, we didn't get White. He's in felony court today? Got it. Okay, so let's do Monday as well.
Monday,
Yeah.
yes, Judge, thank you.
Thanks.
is that for Lodone and White?
No, White. The other one was Cooch.
Oh, okay.
Counsel, come on up. Good morning. Hi, good morning.
On Juan Guzman,
In custody or on bond?
he is in custody. So just to update you, Judge, he had a felony. Yesterday, he pled guilty on the felony, time served, and they dismissed the underlying same transaction misdemeanor he had in this court. So the last charge standing is now his motion to adjudicate the DWI.
Okay, wonderful. So did we have him T-Rast?
I'm sorry.
Guzman.
Yes, it recommended SATF.
That's it.
SATF?
Yeah.
So he is wanting to know whether he can have, if I approach no time served.
He has a drug problem.
Oh,
A true drug problem. every time we let him out, he takes off and he picks up new cases. I mean, it's over and over. So
I agree. This
he
is just
needs
what my
treatment.
client.
And I know, and I've told him this. I've told him this multiple times that when you come back, we're gonna wait out the felony. As soon as that's done, into treatment you go.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is we'll amend conditions. If he refuses to sign, that's okay. We will have a hearing. And if they prove to me that he violated, then I'm gonna order it regardless.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
Thanks. You ready? Hi, good morning.
We're approaching on Carlos Ramos.
Just to catch you up, Judge, this is one where it's an MAJ, he's out of deferred for attempted auto theft.
Oh, this, okay.
Picks up like all these felonies. So I haven't officially heard back from felony. I know they're gonna tell me, don't go on with this MAJ misdemeanor because you get the felony. Then I want to come. There's no technicals or anything. We're trying to figure out the best way to handle it. My guess. It's obviously up to the court today. I can't go on a hearing on it because that would require me to go on felony evidence. They can't take it.
Are there technicals though, or no?
No, Your Honor.
We looked at the co-defendants, and there was, Tori and I sat down, every co-defendant, new cases.
I didn't pick up.
Nothing.
I didn't. What do you want to do?
Your Honor, I'm agreeing with the prosecutor.
Set it for the day after felony?
I mean, that's the thing, he's not getting out on felonies, it looks like, so we could keep rolling it to see what happens with felonies. It's just, if it does get set for a hearing, I want to be but we can keep rolling it to see what happens with the felonies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's set it for, right now, they're set up there the 27th. 28th is a Friday.
How's Monday?
Monday, I was thinking about Monday.
We're on the
Okay,
same
do that.
page.
I can also talk, I want to see where, I haven't heard back from the evidence, see like, where these cases are going.
I mean, there's really no rush.
Yeah.
Because he's being held at no bond on those 4 cases regardless. So if you want to carry it for maybe a couple settings to see if they have anything.
And if anything, he does get a bond, I would just approach on the bond amount on this one.
Okay, got it. I mean, it's going to be a while for that regardless, at least, a couple months. Then. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thanks.
Thanks.
All right, let me send it. Yeah, I'll send it now. Mr. Ponzi, you ready?
Yes. I was here on Mr. Proctor. He hasn't made an appearance yet. I haven't seen him. He is not responding.
So I'll give it until the end of the docket, but if not, then.
Okay, thank you.
Cesar Garcia.
Are you here just for that, James? Pons, are you here just for that?
Yeah, no, I'm across the hall for.
I was gonna say, don't wait, just go,
Yeah.
and then if shows up, then I'll call you, so you don't have to just sit here and wait.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'll let you know.
Yes.
I know if he shows up, I'll zoom in.
Okay, sure.
See.
Person can be your bond conditions, it's the drugs and alcohol, or the more than the harm. Don't have us with diet. So that it's additional information and the
Hey. Blaze, on Hammond, do you want me to find no PC on it? Because I have to do a PC form. You want me to put in a PC?
That, and I was, yes.
Yeah,
If you don't mind, I'll ask, hey Trey, can we take back that dismissal, that way I post put it as an OPC? Which one? On Hyon. I have those on the file, it's just that.
Okay, let me see, maybe I can get into activities. Is it no activities?
I can refile it, Judge.
Yeah, let me see. I found it. I got it. Here, I'll unsign it now. I'm just gonna delete this one and then you will file.
Perfect, and I'll file a new one now, Judge.
What?
Thank you.
I didn't. Sorry. It was kind of struggle.
Yeah. They department. But you don't do that. I even.
No, you're. Copy the bond, and then have a nice support day or. This is not an attorney.
Let's see.
On the center.
Sorry. Yeah.
Everyone.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's something completed an online thing, but everything that I have. Which was there. And parents with images and questions. I don't want to call straight. And I feel like the last word when you.
You? I'll put that on this.
Okay. Solana? Is it done? Is it you so you can get a speech over and over? Go right to center.
Hey.
Octavia was on. We're going to go the documents with you today. You're going to sign 3 times. Everything you're signing is going to be. These are going to be bond conditions, but it's the import required, no new law violations, preventing drug and alcohol testing, no drugs and alcohol, and then don't work unless you have valid regulations and that is also. The second one is going to be for pre-trial information, Lastly, is the drug testing information. For the drug testing, this is a from emergency messages. Starting Monday, Monday through Friday each week.
Eric,
You're
also?
gonna receive messages. I'm gonna tell you each day, I will list a road test, and you're gonna be after the test. If it says yes, we're gonna report to this high level address here, which means hours that same day. This is your personal information. If you have no questions, be sure to use your number, if you're not getting your messages, anything like that, you can contact control services at the information. With those, all has to be respond to them each day, with a best, with maybe something like that, so you know you're doing it. Or not really the office, even if they're not. You know, sign all your plans, your next court date, and reach out. Sounded. Okay.
Hey, Blaze, can you do me a favor, please? Patterson, the magic crossed out the no contact portion on the MOA. Do you mind filing a new one that puts no contact? Because I don't want to start marking this one up and then it's too confusing to officers or whatnot. So nice.
Just a new, of this front page.
So don't have him redo it?
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry about it. I guess he'll print out another one. Okay, I want it nice and clean, you know?
Yeah.
Nice and clean.
You're more than welcome to come on that day, it's just like the sheriff's duties going on, it's just with, just like.
Chablis,
Good morning, Judge. We're here on Mercedes Spinks.
say again?
Mercedes Spinks, she's the fugitive docket.
Okay.
They're just gonna come out for this.
You're an intern? So are you year 2, year 3?
I graduated, so my last day is actually the 20th.
The which day?
My last day is actually the 25th of April. So,
Of April. Oh, so are you gonna come back and work for the day's office? And then when's the bar?
July.
No.
Excited.
You're taking a prep course, right?
Yeah,
Barbara?
yeah, it's gonna be about great.
It's great, really. You need to. It's not that bad. It is actually, but we'll do it. I hated it.
We'll just make sure.
Okay, so what are we doing with Spinks, Chablis? Do you
So
want?
Judge, I've spoken with the attorney I've spoken with his assistant in Mississippi. She told me, she just sent the text, says she's on her way to turn herself in.
Wait. Did I just hear you really say that?
Yes.
That she was unaware she had to turn herself in? You really?
On her way. She's on her way to her attorney's office to turn herself in Mississippi. She's in Mississippi right now.
When's the day where she had to turn in?
Today.
Hi, Jay. Looking snazzy with that haircut.
Hello.
To what do we owe this honor?
Making sure this doesn't go off the rails is all.
Off the rails? Is that what you said? Does it ever go off the rails?
From time to time. Okay.
So is today the day that she's supposed to turn in?
Yes.
And she still hasn't done it?
No.
Well, it's the day where we reset to.
Today's the day we were reset to. She's, like I said, she sent the text that said that she was on her way to her attorney's office to turn herself in. The attorney is aware. I spoke with the attorney's assistant about this. I asked him for a copy of if he was able to get the warrant lifted. I'm assuming he was unable to get the warrant lifted, so that's why she's on her way to turn herself in.
I mean, my only issue, and I contacted them as well, is there's no verification that was provided unless I'm missing something or didn't catch up to the most recent information. But I asked them if there's any verification that she actually is around near the location. She could be in China for all we know. I mean, there's no photograph or verification that she actually is there. She's just,
Well, so look, I mean, there's an easy, let's not like reinvent the wheel here. We give a time and we need proof of that she's turned herself in. I don't know, you want to say 1 o'clock?
I'm fine with that, Judge. I mean, you've spoken
We don't
with
have
that,
proof.
you've spoken with that office day, and you said that they have been in contact with her, correct?
Oh, they said they believe they were in contact with someone who claims to be her. So like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna just, trust the person on the phone. My cousin could call for me. That has no, I mean, just my point. Is
Shibley, really, I mean, you don't go to a lawyer's office to turn yourself in. No, I've admonished this person ad nauseum. If by 1 o'clock, because we have to put a time limit as well, because we all gotta go.
Yes,
So
Judge.
if by 1 o'clock we've not heard anything, I'm gonna revoke the bond.
Yes, Judge. So my question is, if you revoke the bond and she turns herself in, is this warrant just lingering out there, or does this dispose of itself once the proof is given to the court that she's turned herself in?
Oh, she turned herself in, then I'll dismiss the fugitive case after the fact. But regarding the revocation, I can't speak to that because that's regarding the bond, that's more the court than us. So
Yeah, that's what I just asked the judge.
I mean, typically, we revoke, don't forfeit, right? So forfeit's a different creature where you would lose the money.
Okay.
So I don't ever forfeit a bond here. I revoke it. I set it at 0, but I don't know how that would impact the bond, Shigley. I don't.
Okay.
I did admonish her not to wait until the last day though. And here we are.
Torres?
It's 10 o'clock. I mean, I'm sorry, it's 10:36. We still have no. So if by 1 o'clock I don't hear anything, I'm gonna I will revoke it and set it at 0.
Yes,
And
sir.
then, I guess we'll leave it on her to get it to you. If you don't hear anything from her, I guess, and just let her know that she has until 1 o'clock to get proof to you. If we don't have proof, and I'm not taking word, right? We need some kind of other proof.
and I've done it for others where if there's a plane ticket or photos near a Buc-ee's, near wherever, is if there's any kind of independent proof that she actually is where she says she is, I'm fine with that. I don't care as long as it comes in some sort of, verifiable way.
But you also you reach out to the demanding jurisdiction,
And also,
right?
well, once it's complete, but I'm saying in the progress of it, because when they allege that they're on their way, I have no way of verifying that by way of just, so.
Yes, sir. I will follow up. I will let her know. I too have told her the same.
I know, Shibley, I
admonishment.
know. And it's not you, right? And I'm sorry that you have to be stuck in the position that you're in, but you can lead a horse water, right? Okay, I guess
1
just
o'clock.
reach out to me, Dave, I guess text me, let me know, and then I'll let Trey know.
Sounds perfect.
Go from there.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, Ms. Wilhelm.
Hi, good morning, Judge.
Hey,
I
I
have something
saw the
simple.
motion and I've granted.
Okay, thank you so much. I just wanted to check. Thank you, Judge.
Do you still want the date that it's in now? It's set for April 22nd.
Yeah, so that was kind of far. Judge, I can check with Victoria, but I might want to move it up if we can, if you have space.
Do when? What day?
Maybe 4/1 if you have space for it.
4/1? Of course we do.
Okay.
Can I give you a cost number? It's off docket. So I just granted a motion to sell. 2555975.
So.
4/1.
Oh, April 1st?
Yeah,
Why are we here?
she's in custody. I think she has an ice hold.
Right.
Yeah, she has an ice hold, so she's in custody. Yeah. Okay, we'll put her on that day for you then.
Thank you so much, Judge. Thank you.
Got it.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Hey, did he sign conditions? Because they filed an MAJ. I don't want to sign it until, so we're good. Have you talked to him yet? Are you gonna talk to him again? Well, I just want him to know that SATF, you go to the program and then you have aftercare. Right, so I want him to know that if he blows off aftercare, we are going to continue with the SATF program until it takes. So you must complete aftercare. If you don't, we'll issue a warrant, put you right back in, and we're gonna do SATF again.
But actually, I was kidding. I think she's an entertainment. I don't think it's getting that. I think this is just coming by. So
I missed it on the Guzman one. Was it going to dismiss the MOJ or?
They did.
Oh, they did?
Okay, yeah, and I just signed it.
Okay. Did you want to write some since the previous one was where they were moved or something? Do you want to?
Yes, so, yeah, it's just no contact.
And I think on the Rakita one, that one was just, what did they change? Oh, I think it was to have contact, just no threatening on the Rakita one, because they did a writ already.
Thank you.
The state said they did a writ. The defendant wanted to drop the charges.
Victoria, on Miss Jenkins, who got that case?
Colin? Right there.
Okay. What? Hey, what is the, so I have the order, come on. So I'm looking at the order for protection now. Who is the complaining witness? What's the relation? It's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, 3 years together.
Stop. No.
I'm looking now, we do not,
It's the guy, right?
it's the guy, and I don't have anything when I click on his name, and then when we tried to make contact with him, he got quite irate and said he didn't want to comply.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because in these order for protections, there is a residential restriction that prohibits you from going back to residence of where this person lives or where this person works. So that's why I was deciding whether to keep this on or take it off. The problem is that I don't want you guys to get in another situation where you're going to end up back in custody with a new case because you guys keep butting heads. So you need to be very careful. If you got a bunch of kids with this person and you guys are constantly butting heads, you're the one that's going to end up in jail with a new case if you guys start going at it again. You understand?
Yes.
So you need to be very, very careful, especially if you have a temper. If you look, 99% of the people that are in jail now are there because they have no self-control. They wig out and they do whatever they want to do without thinking, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? And sometimes you have but a second to reflect. Use self-control, especially if you have kids, because if your kids see this violence, what do you think they're going to do? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If you are like this and the kids see this, they'll be like, just like you. I'm going to take the residential restriction off. The only thing I'm counseling you is be careful, especially if you guys butt heads a lot. All right?
Okay.
You've got a great lawyer here. He will take care of you. Just listen to him if there's ever any issues. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. So they're going to file no contact, no weapons. I think that, let me see if we already have it. We do. So we'll have you sign the conditions now, and then after that, you're free to go. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
First. Hi, Shreya.
Hey, Judge, how are you?
How's it going?
Oh my gosh.
Did y'all chat about it?
Yes. We just revoked somebody. It's the first time the officer made a someone those meetings within 6 months.
Did you dismiss all of the pool cases?
Yeah, sure, and that was all subject to refile.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I think we put a bunch of monitors on them too.
Yeah, Judge, and
I'll have to get those
this
off.
was coming from felony, so.
Yeah.
Is he doing a deferred upstairs?
PTI, and if the deal is felony, if he messes up PTI, that's why it's subject to refile, and all those, they're gonna refile them as they, it's kind of like a carrot stick.
Oh. He's too nice. Yes. His staff works for him. But I asked the officer myself, you see something that I'm like, I'm never kind of like 30 and so. One time, when it was like, Judge wants to come by the chairs and play it, you know, that was, you were still into my facts. And then Judge Rodriguez is like, Mr. So-and-so, you know, I thought I extremely hard to believe it would hurt. So if you're not playing around today. I don't even want to know what he's got to make it.
Hi, Abel.
Judge, good morning.
Happy Friday.
Isn't it?
Yes. What's the word? Oh, you got a couple? Okay.
Did you get the
No. Eric, no, you do it, right?
I see.
Judge, it seems we're getting all the clientele from the library.
Huh? Is here every day. Oh, they did it for what? I don't. I think we have a library. I don't think it's. See, but I haven't heard much of the library recently on the stuff.
She's gonna play my car.
I only have doing that data. I mean, yeah. Did you sign it over?
Yeah. Yeah. I left too. Like he doesn't have a license, right? Yeah. So, hey, warn him because I don't know what his status is. And so he needs to know because okay, try. Hi, Eric. What's going on?
Franklin on the back.
Oh, Ladon.
Yes.
You pick up a new case?
He did. He picks up an ag assault with deadly weapon upstairs.
Hey, Deputy, you going? Mind bringing him out?
He's
Please.
buried a couple days this week because not getting brought up.
Ladon, please. Ladon, right?
Yes. I spoke with the state a couple times this week.
Why do I not see it on document?
He got rolled from yesterday. I don't know.
Oh, it's Franklin's last name, maybe.
Yes, I'm sorry. Franklin is last.
I've got it.
He has a terroristic threat here and he picked up a substantial felony upstairs. And I think his bond is at 40,000 upstairs, which I know he can't possibly make, so. He's adamant he didn't do anything. This is Mr. Ladon. No, Mr. Franklin. I'm sorry, sir.
After all that we've gone through. Gone through trying the this, the that. And now you've picked up an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Don't talk about the case, Mr. Franklin.
He's a prosecutor.
The only thing is, I cannot express my disappointment. I really thought that you and I were like reaching together.
We are. We were, and we really are. My family's working against me. They trying to take my SSI check and stuff. I haven't done anything. This is my 35th year. I haven't done nothing.
So look, I don't even know what happened. I want to know. So he picked up an Agasolid then. What happened? Please. Please, just don't say anything, please. I just want to know what happened or why they're saying what happened. Okay.
On March 17th, 2025, at approximately 5:48 PM, officers were dispatched to an aggravated assault call of a resident in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officers met with the complainant, who stated they are a resident in a group home. The complainant stated that the defendant is a person they have known for 3 weeks. The complainant stated the defendant arrived at the group home around 5:38 PM and knocked on the front door multiple times, cussing at another resident due to them not opening up the front door fast enough. The complainant stated the defendant continued yelling, cursing, and talking down to the resident. So the complainant tried to talk the defendant down. The defendant stated to the complainant that he was going to fuck him up, then went to his bedroom. The defendant took a hold of a fork which the complainant believed was a knife and pointed it at the complainant. The complainant asked if he was going to get stabbed. And the defendant charged at the complainant. The complainant stated they feared for serious bodily injury or death. The complainant ran and locked themselves in their motor vehicle and called the police. While waiting for the police in the vehicle, the defendant was still threatening to kill the complainant and was kicking the vehicle.
Wow. I just came from Food Town and I went back home to eat. I was at the door, I knocked.
Stop. Just the problem is that there are some people in this life, Scheisse is always happening to them for some reason. Always. This, that, this. It's always happening. It's always happening. Don't matter where you go. I'm always stepping in, you know?
I'm not a violent person.
Your history says.
No, I'm not a violent person. I'm an SSI patient. I've been dealing with this stuff all my life. Soon as they get my name,
the only thing
to use my social.
The only thing I'm going to say is that, you know, it's time to do some deep reflection. You know, it really is time, because the thing is that I don't want you to end up with a 40-year sentence, man, because of the no self-control. I really thought we had something. I'm just so disappointed, man.
I don't know. Well, I'm the one that's been did wrong. I don't care no more.
So look, I got to revoke your bond, man. So.
I don't know why.
Because you picked up a felony.
I'm doing everything I can do. There's people out there doing hate cases, hate crimes, all towards people like me. All I'm trying to do is just get my home back. They took it from me. Everything. This stuff is happening against me. I'm not assaulting people. I never assault people.
You know, the problem is that while this case is open, we can't do anything in here anyways. You know, what I'd like to do is, you know, have you evaluated to see how we go forward, because I just don't know.
A lot of this stuff was false. All of this stuff is false, so it's me.
We're gonna have to wait for it to play out. I hope, Mr. Franklin, but I don't know. Well, I gotta wait to see the evidence and see what happens.
Well, you can't just send me to a psych ward unit or something while all of this is going on.
First, I have to have you evaluated, but I can't do that until the felonies are
This is
worked
not
out.
making no sense. This is my 35th year, and I have to keep dealing with this stuff.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna revoke it. I'll set it at 5,001. All right, Mr. Franklin, I just don't want you to have any weapons and just don't pick up any new cases, man.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what about isolation aggravated? Huh? What about it makes it aggravated?
Because it's a deadly, well, it's a weapon that can cause serious bodily injury. So,
Good night.
You wanna go over four?
Yeah.
All right.
So 5,001.
Three, Campbell, page 3. Step forward and fail to appear first time.
I didn't put him.
Look.
6,001 on that.
My training and experience.
Okay, 6,
See ya.
a bond. Step forward and fail to appear 3 bonds.
Ten thousand and three. Yeah, I'll do bail.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I hear you.
I know. It's too close for me.
All right, how's?
Yeah. Our offices were filled up too. Like, no one going through them now. Okay, I'll make a change. Yeah, I know, I found one of your memos and the difference. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it's me. How, 3 years old.
I'm printing it out right now. Right.
Okay, I'll call my.
Judge, when you get a chance,
Justin,
can I give you a call number?
Yeah.
25 370 45. So we discussed her earlier this week, because
No,
we
it's
swapped her over from the portable to the ID, but she hasn't been driving the vehicle, so we haven't been really monitoring her.
Right.
You said you wanted us to get her randomly tested sometime this week. We scheduled her. She was late, so she was a no-show for the test.
Okay, so let's follow the.
Justin Patterson.
We're
Okay.
just.
It should be beyond, then we'll put her on docket.
Okay, I just wanted to let you
Yeah.
know.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's all.
Are you ready?
Let's do it. Thank you so much.
Page 7, Irving, step 4, Raymond found to appear first time.
2501.
Eight, Malvo, step 4, Raymond has failed to appear. She called and said she was running late, but that was around 9.
10,004.
Thank you, sir. You're free to go.
That's. First. I was just like, what, I think else. But it would get too long too. Because it's so much. What happens to me over that? We'll see.
Who's next?
Page 10, Outlands, set for women trial to appear, 2 bonds posted.
5,002.
Love it.
Who's next?
Page 11 and 12, Proctor. He was set for arraignment yesterday, also appeared.
Oh, right. 5,002.
Are you gonna do PLs?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's going to be higher than this. This guy's.
You think you raise money?
Lost it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But DPS is still going in that can use. Yeah, there's another word that's branded, like, and then remove, that's what removal signs. You never want DPS on to have that name. You have to. Sure.
$10,003 on both.
It's honestly.
January. So. And health and creation of the there's also. I'm planning how to create this one. Yeah. I can see. We'll be in the group, so I mean, that's just. Yeah. We will send them, you know, they can have. Sure. And usually that process can take it a little bit of time. And once it should be this, it's kind of a sure.
Ma'am, phones are not allowed in the courtroom.
Okay. Who's next?
The next one.
Thank you. It'll be a minute. So if you have the papers in place. A petition. Okay.
Page 17, Zamora. When they felt it their first time.
What about Whitaker above it?
I'm waiting for the bond to get posted. They posted a cash bond. It hasn't been imaged yet.
Okay,
Have a new door.
2501 on that. And then on the other, one more thing. On Spinks, should I just write it on here? Just in
Gave
case?
them till 1. I
And-
can write it on the docket if they.
Okay,
All
All right. got it.
But I did hear you say you gave them till 1, right?
Yeah. Hey, it looks like we will have a jury trial from ERD next week.
Okay.
Monks's case. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I did.
So there, it looks like they're gonna pick on Monday, or I'm sorry, on Tuesday, and then we'll start testimony here Wednesday. So just be prepared.
Are you gonna be overseeing, or are you gonna do?
So Singer and ERD is gonna be picking it, and then he can't continue with it. I'll do testimony here. But, so just be ready, because I guess it's not your case, right?
It's
Is it DVDs? Okay, got it.
Just, do you like shooting back, like on over?
Yeah, I mean, right, since I guess, hang out. No. I don't care. Wherever you want to go. It's probably easier back there because you can stay close to Victoria, so you guys can just reset and, right? That's what we normally do. They just hang out back there.
And then I'll have the trial, so we'll know when to break and when to.
Yeah.
I try to be efficient.
Yeah.
But these, no, these now, I
I thought it was good.
I know back, okay.
I think that's it.
So we have a plea in the back. I emailed Hugh, he said he was in Florida, London, and he would come by right after. And then John just got here.
I didn't know yet.
It's okay, we've only been waiting like an hour.
But you know, it's okay, John's here, we can all leave now.
I spoke to Miss Victoria and to your clerk, Your Honor, and they had put a interlock removal order in your queue,
okay.
please.
I'll send it.
Mr. Allen.
Sure.
So as far as I know, he's going in.
How's Miss Stefanski? Have you?
She's inpatient treatment. She's doing
She doing
inpatient
well?
treatment. So I had spoken to her husband, and I know that she was having some anxiety issues with being kind of locked in inpatient treatment and stuff. And I know that she had
I wonder if they can prescribe anything there.
been very upset about all that stuff. But I spoke to her husband and, had spoken to some other people. And they recommended basically that she complete treatment as expeditiously as possible, so then she'll be able to get out.
I think that she'll probably do it pretty quick. You know, the thing is that there's aftercare, right? Yeah, so there's aftercare that she's gonna have to keep up with, but at least that's on the outside.
So hopefully she'll be able to complete that, finish that.
I have no doubt.
Move forward and not have any more of this in her life.
All right, thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, how are you, man?
It's a pleasure to present. I'm going to get the play ball and then.
So testimony and everything will be with us. All he can do is just pick it,
Yes.
start testimony Wednesday.
The other thing, what time do you want me to have my vehicles here? Will you take it?
8:30. 8:30.
We'll start testimony at 8:30.
So, right, make sure everybody's here at 8:30. I'm gonna do arraignments. Right after we're done with arraignments, we go. So probably like 9:15.
That's just.
9:30.
Checking.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I look forward to it. Take care.
Me too. Q, are you ready? Let's do it.
At least he knows that it's not.
Yeah, it's gonna be on page 22 and 23.
Did we not do a TRAS on Miss Morgan? This is Morgan, right? I thought we did a TRAS.
We did.
This is the lot, we're not gonna continue. This is your third trespass within a year. The next time, if you pick up another case, get ready. If you need any resources, we have resources here for you. If you need a place to sleep, if you need food to eat, you need somewhere to go, money, whatever, all you have to do is come back here and we will give you whatever you need. But living on the street takes its toll, and we're not going to continue to do this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Next time, we will really get to the bottom of it. Do you understand, Ms. Moore?
Yes, sir.
You're charged now again with criminal trespass and interference with duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine on each of those cases. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. It will stay there forever. This is it. I'm not going to continue to play this revolving door. Do you understand? How do you plead to both of these offenses? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty and I'll sentence you to 30 days in jail and I'll give you credit for the 17. The next time you pick up a criminal case, come back. You've never once come back. Come back if you pick up another one. Do you understand? Good luck, Ms. Moore.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, so we won't say he's running late. Yeah, so I'm only waiting. We'd rather see the whole. There's awful short. And I never win the for game. James.
Sometimes I love it.
No, that's not big.
I just put that in the talks to it.
It's all wrong, actually.
And so I think-
Yeah, it's never listen.
And I thought she wanted to listen, you know.
That's what you. People.
Hey, I gotta run.
And then you come right off. Figure it out. But not.
Don't have lunch at dinner tomorrow.
And that's it, right?
Judge, can I give you a case number? 2555506. Except for rain yesterday, fell to a field one position.
Come up, Mr. James.
Hey, Victoria, can I get it one more time? 25555. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. James.
I know. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I didn't know my court date. I thought I was supposed to be on the 25th. And I called the court.
Okay, I will reinstate your bond today.
Now I called the court, and she told me to be here this morning. So I had to catch two buses. I catch one bus.
There's no need for you to say anything. Just don't miss court again.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
I'm sorry, but I'm calling from my computer.
Excuse me,
We have to do probable cause.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Just, you have the right to remain silent. I don't want you to say anything because I don't want you to hurt your case anymore, okay?
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 3:11 a.m., officers were dispatched to a gas station in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant assaulted him with his arms. The complainant stated he was at the gas station when an unrelated suspect started beating on him. As he was getting beat up, the defendant jumped onto the complainant and started beating on him as well. The defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist and strangled the complainant from behind with his forearms in a chokehold for 5 minutes. The complainant passed out. The complainant stated he felt pain. The complainant pointed out the defendant, who was across the street, and the officers attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant resisted. The complainant positively identified the defendant. The complainant and the defendant are acquaintances through the complainant's girlfriend. The complainant had a bruise on his neck and a bump not on his cheek. I have spoken to the complainant. So from what the complainant has told me is it is
Sir.
consistent.
Move.
It's consistent with the rip, but then also this other suspect apparently had fired at their vehicle while the defendant was being detained, and there's an ongoing aggravated assault along with this as well for the other suspect.
Know who that is?
Yes, I've gotten his name. I need to reach out to the officer to see what the status is on that, but we do have the name of the other suspect.
James, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. If I find that you put hands on anyone in this life from now on, I'm going to revoke your bond, and I'm going to make it so high you'll have teeth falling out. Do you understand?
Okay.
You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. If I find that you're a danger to my community, likewise. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are not to have any contact with this person. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of this. Was it a gas station?
Yes, it was a gas station, Your Honor.
This gas station, and I'm going to put an ankle monitor where I know where you are at all times. You just had 2 aggravated assaults and a burglary of a building
I didn't.
not months ago. So,
John,
Mr.
I had
James,
nothing to do with this.
I want you to understand something. I will protect my community at all cost.
Staff,
Do you understand?
I understand that, sir, but I
I don't.
touched nobody. I broke the fight up between
Here's
the
what
guy.
we'll do. Here's what we will do. I will give you a lawyer today. We will wait for this evidence to come in. There's always two sides to a
Yes,
story.
the officer said they need the film from the gas station.
I
That
want you-
exonerates me.
I want you to listen.
Sir,
There are always two sides to a story. And the evidence will point to whose side is correct. We are giving you the benefit of the doubt, and this is why you are out in the free world as it is now. But if I find that you become a danger to my community, if I find that you pick up a new case, if I find that you break any of these conditions that I set forth, you know what's going to happen. Do you understand?
sir,
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. It doesn't matter to me. All what matters to me is going forward, what happens. And I want my community safe.
understand.
Judge, can we also get a residential restriction for him not to be able to go near the complainant's residence as well? Because from what it sounds like to me, they all know where each
No.
other lives.
No, I don't.
So,
When I say I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case,
Can I just say one thing? Your
hold
Honor?
on. It is a Mr. Hernandez. When I'm telling you I don't want you to have contact with this person, it's phone calls, text messages, social media, where this person lives, where this person works, where this person hangs out. If I find that you are anywhere near this person, then I will revoke your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And here's the rub, is that if I make your bond $5,000 to $10,000 or $15,000 and you don't have anyone to make that bond, you will be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. All I'm asking you to do now is keep my community safe and don't go near this person.
I don't communicate with this person. I ain't touching nobody, Your Honor. I was breaking this guy.
Stop. I will give you a lawyer today. You can tell your side to the lawyer, and then you guys can come up to an agreement. I don't need to be involved at this time.
But the officer told me they could.
Look, stop. I don't want to hear it. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. You are not to be in possession of any weapons, no alcohol, illegal drugs, random testing, a GPS monitor, and no going within 1,000 feet of where the person lives or doesn't work.
I don't even communicate with the guy.
Do you mind appointing Miss? Okay, I'm now going to give you a lawyer. You will be able to speak to the lawyer, and then you guys can come up to an agreement. You must remain in contact with the lawyer. If the lawyer tells me he cannot get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging phone calls, I will issue a warrant. Do you understand?
But Your Honor,
You can talk to him. He'll be here shortly, and then you can tell him what happened. All right? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We're good.
Okay, thank
you
you.
know,
Yeah. Come on, let's get this.
I had nothing to do.
Bond reinstate. I think he only has one.
Just one.
Just one. The ag assault looks like it's it, but it's not.
Looks like they found no CC in the act.
Yes.
And you should, Judge Ramsey, wrote.
That's good.
So I only accept them, so it was that gas.
Somebody else.
He said, all right.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
It's all.
It's just amazing.
Just curious history. I don't even say it's, I can do everything. So I was. I knew that, I don't know. Because I actually. And that means they be less invested. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Look, I. Okay. You said we make when you down about this tax, so it's just about the leader back then. We got it there, right?
It literally just happened on March 13th, so now I'm coming.
No, I'm not saying, I don't say that they lost you.
I just don't my charge. If we let, I think there's an ongoing.
Anything else?
We on waters. The clubs don't have it yet.
What's the cost number, please?
227.
I'm not sure, Judge.
How much credit does he have?
He has the trouble with access. Bond book district, and he showed up and found today. There's no. Give the case number.
Yeah, 252-7493.
7493.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you not get a judge, your students on the.
Yes, so the Gaston are about around 4 miles as they were to the places walking. Their plans are and Torres, again, they were about to God.
Hey, Jillian, can I talk to you for a second? What did you want to do with Mr. Waters? What do you want to do with Mr. Waters?
He's gonna plead today. We're trying to do a time served on the evading dismissal. Hi, Judge, he's got so much going on. And his curfews,
Mischief, trespass, theft, gun case, theft.
Judge,
Theft.
when he was arraigned, we established that so many of these cases are just a result of him hanging out at this little drugstore. The cops know who he is, they know who everyone there is. So really, he just needs to stop hanging out at that drugstore. He's not, and well,
While
I'm
he's
sorry.
on for both of these cases, he picks up another theft.
And that's upstairs in felony. And right now the offer is 18 months state jail. So he's dealing with that right now. The evading is at that same little drugstore. And I'm sorry, my memory is actually coming back to me. A lot of those thefts were necessary items from Target or Walmart. Because we went over that for arraignment. They were literally, when it was winter, it was literally hoodies, sweatshirts, and socks. And then when it was summer, it was like underwear. Most of those thefts are necessary items. When I was appointed, we got him a social worker through the MAC and housing through search. And his girlfriend was pregnant at the time. She was only like 2 months pregnant. Now she's pretty much due. They have housing that they got through the services we were able to provide. He hasn't picked up any new cases because right now they're barely making ends meet, but they are making ends meet. They're still together. She relies on him to go to their appointments. He gets the things that she needs because her mobility has decreased now. She came up here and spoke for him in front of you. She'd been to like college and everything, and you gave her a big speech. You gave him a speech about supporting her through her hormonal shifts. He was just telling me about that. He was like, I keep thinking about what Judge Fleischer said. She woke me up crying this morning because she said she's fat and ugly, and I just held her and I made her feel better. And I'm trying to do that every day because I remember what the judge told me. That's where he is right now, Judge. So he understands that he broke that curfew a couple times. He says the late ones are just from him trying to get a job and getting home late. But
He's been saying that he had a job. He's out at 11 o'clock at night. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just.
he's still got the felony pending. He's ready to resolve these. If the court will allow, I think it's a good resolution for him.
I'm not gonna do it.
Why? What would be the alternative, Judge?
I want him on probation. And I want to monitor him for the next 2 years so I can make sure that he's not messing up. So I can keep him and I want him to get his high school. Does he have a high school diploma?
I can't remember.
How'd you going? Do you mind bringing up Mr. Waters?
If we have to do that, can you not revoke his bond so that he and I can talk about it while not under the strain of my bond's going to be revoked, so I'm going to spend the night in jail if I don't get this plea done? Can we not revoke his bond? Other than the bond violations, he wasn't here on yesterday when he was supposed to be because he had felony court today. He thought he was supposed to come here after felony court. Or whenever that was, I'm sorry. But he didn't just blow off the court yesterday.
Have we T-rest him yet?
No, sir. It looks like he was on probation. Back in this, oh wait, it got revoked back in 2023 and that's your answer. It was a young adult caseload and helping him get his GED, mental health evaluation, and thinking for a change.
You didn't do anything.
Let me see what they want.
I'm done with the revolving door. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. I'm very upset with you. Very, very upset. I thought we had things going. I thought we had things going right. You know, you've been doing well. And now you've got this bond violation where you're doing whatever the hell you want to do again. Don't work like that. And I don't know what I need to do to get your attention that at this stage in your life, it's not about what you want to do. It's about complying with bond conditions. We have literally bent over backwards to try to help you with things, and you continue to shoot yourself in the foot. Your lawyer, Miss Hawkins, wants to plead you guilty now because you have a warrant. I'm done with this revolving door of you picking up a case and getting out. Picking up a case, getting out. You now, Mr. Waters, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Kev, man. That's Kev. I'm gonna fight for my life, man. That's Kev, man. I've been by my baby mama's side, man. Been taking care of everything I gotta take care of, man. That's Kev, man.
Mr. Waters, look at me.
That's Kev, man.
Mr. Waters, you don't get rewarded for doing things that you should do anyways.
You know what I gotta do?
Meaning what you're doing is great and it keeps you out of jail. But do you want me to pat you on the back for doing what you should be doing anyways?
I ain't asking. Man, I ain't asking. I'm just asking you, like, just give me a little more time. I've been doing these jobs. I've been going through the whole package. I've been going to these hospitals with my girl, going to go check up on our little one that's coming, and I want to be there.
If you are old enough to have a baby, then these are the things that you should do anyways. You don't get rewarded for being a good father. The reward is that you have a kid that grows up like a little flower that blossoms, right? Because there are so many people that have babies that treat their kids like shisa, and they end up like rotten ass kids that like a flower are just crooked. And just when you're a father, the duty of a father is to stand by the side of their kid, stand by the side of the wife to make their lives as comfortable, as great, educational, and supportive as possible. That is the duty of a father, right? If you can't, then don't have kids. Then be a man to use a prophylactic or think, maybe I'm not in the best position right now to have a baby. You think before you act. This is the sign of being an adult, of being mature and growing up, Mr. Waters. But me, with you now, I'm not going to just continue with this revolving door. You've been doing well because you've not picked up any cases, which is great, right?
And I have not been doing nothing. I have not been kicking her. I have been at that store.
So tell me about the curfew then. What's up with that?
Okay, with the curfew, I can understand. Me and my girl, we got into it, and I ended up walking out, trying to go get some fresh air. Was not thinking. I can admit to that, and I'm sorry. We yelled the hormone going crazy with us, and we trying to, fight and get right with this. But
I need to know about this.
I'm trying to. I can't talk. Y'all be telling me I can't talk, and I be having.
I've given you a lawyer to talk to.
And I told her everything. So she can come and tell you and let you know. Keep stuff updated. Sir, I've been out the way. I ain't been on no lollygagging stuff. I'm really maturing. I'm ready to be a dad.
Working?
I'm ready for this. Well, I'm doing a little something on the side. I ain't doing no drug, no none of that. I'm, volunteering with my girl dad now.
Why can't you? Why are you? Can you not get a 9-to-5 job?
With my 9-to-5, I gotta have my ID and stuff, and I'm working with search my housing people. They got me my apartment. They finna give me my social security card and my ID card, and that's all I need, so I can go ahead and get on.
Second, were we working on this?
Yeah, so first he was with Search to just get housing. At first they didn't have housing, so he has an apartment and everything now. I'm not sure like the step by step how everything progresses, but he does still work with them. I've actually spoken with his officer, your case manager. He also had a social worker assigned with MAC. They were informed that he is working with Search, so they just kind of check in here and there, but they won't like also work with him because he's also working with Search, but they'll just make sure things are okay. So he is still working with Search and has a case manager with them. And has housing now. I wasn't aware of the ID issues or anything.
Not being telling them, send me applications.
What we're going to do now is we're going to work on this in extremely slow baby steps. I want you now to go get your ID. I want you to get your ID. And I'm going to give you a week for you to go get it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you are not back here in a week with your ID, it's not going to go well. After we get your ID, then you and I are going to work together to get you a job. A 9-to-5 job where you're working every single day. Because if you are about to have a baby, that baby needs food, that baby needs clothes, and the only way you get that is by working. And I'm not talking about these side jobs here, no, an actual J-O-B. Do you understand? I'm going to reinstate your bond right now with the expectation that you're going to get your ID. If you don't, it's really not going to go well.
Thank you, Judge.
Victoria, get ready, because we're going to work on getting this dude a job. Vic, I'm leaving. Hey. Yeah, no drugs, no alcohol. Same thing applies.
Yes, Judge, the conditions, are we reinstating the bond?
Yes.
Okay, then all
All
conditions will
same-
continue.
yeah. Okay. Alan, you ready?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Talk to me.
Well, this is more of a client service matter than anything else. I would like to reapproach, Your Honor, on Mr. James. Mr. James has some questions about the probable cause, and if it's possible, I'd like to have probable cause read while I'm here with him so that I can communicate to him adequately everything that's going on.
Okay.
Thank you,
Come up, Mr. James. He's saying there's no probable cause.
Your Honor. I think at this point, I'd like to just say that he's not fully understanding or appreciating the magnitude of what's going on so that we can communicate effectively. I'd just like us to have the transparency.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are charged with assault causing bodily injury. You are facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. She's going to read what happened in this case. Please.
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 3:11, officers were dispatched to a gas station in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant assaulted him with his arm. The complainant stated that he was at the gas station when an unrelated suspect started beating on him. As he was getting beat up, the defendant jumped onto the complainant and started beating on him as well. The defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist, then strangled the complainant from behind with his
Okay, hold on. Did you hear what that said? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know that's not true.
Okay.
Well, they're talking about, that's what they're saying happened. That's what
That's
judge
why we have evidence. Evidence points to whose side is correct. I know that you're saying it didn't happen.
said that.
But the
Somebody said that. That's the probable cause.
We have film.
I got, that's right. We're gonna work on it. Just listen.
with his forearms in a chokehold for 5 minutes. The complainant passed out. The complainant stated he felt pain. The complainant pointed out the defendant, who was across the street. When officers arrived, the officers attempted to detain the defendant and the defendant resisted. The complainant positively identified the defendant. The complainant and defendant are acquaintances through the complainant's girlfriend. The complainant had a bruise on his neck and a bump knot on his cheek.
And Your Honor, of course, he doesn't have a bump on his cheek or his neck, and they got the wrong thing. They got the wrong guy. And we're gonna prove that. So, but right now, Your Honor, do you find probable cause? Judge found probable cause based on that. Now, we're gonna fight this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now listen, now we got one more thing to take care of. Your Honor, I understand that as part of his bond conditions, the court is requesting he has an ankle monitor. Your Honor, we understand that the purpose of bond and the conditions are to ensure his return to court. I have talked to him and we'd like to make his next appearance required, Your Honor.
Okay.
We would ask that he not have to have that ankle monitor, Your Honor.
And the state would be opposed, just due to the complainant's safety and the threats to their life that happened, that was relayed to us during this incident. I don't know how him and the other suspect are involved. The state would be opposed to not having him be on.
And if I may, Your Honor, my client was not the initial aggressor. The facts are uncontroverted that my client, it was introduced to a scene of combat. Whether or not he was trying to break it up and help and it was a misinterpretation, or he actually hit this person who was ultimately unconscious and their recollection could be questioned. Those are all factual questions, Your Honor. He's contesting that he was a good Samaritan, Your Honor, and we'd like to prove that. But there were other facts that took place that were not my client. We would ask that even though they have concerns, he is not posing a risk that he would not return to court, Your Honor. And that would be the reason for the ankle monitor.
My fear, and after looking at his criminal history, he has extensive criminal history dating back to 1987.
Yes, Your Honor.
In fact, he just did 300 days on a burglar of a building not just a couple months ago, where 2 aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon were dismissed.
Yes, sir.
So my fear is I don't want him using alcohol, illegal drugs, and I don't want him anywhere near the complaining witnesses. And I want to ensure that this doesn't happen. So that's why I put this on. If after some time passes where there are no issues, I'm always happy to revisit. But for the time being, I want to ensure that our community is protected and that the complaining witness is also protected. I mean, we have here an allegation where he was choked for 5 alleged minutes until he passed out.
No, that never happened.
The evidence will point to whose side is correct. I'm assuming, and I would hope, that if this is the fact, that officers would take pictures, there should be ligature marks, there should be all kinds of, so we'll see. I don't know. But the only thing.
Right, they don't have it right now. Yep. Yes,
That's
sir.
why I
You need to listen, Mr. James, you also need to understand that you need to be patient.
listen,
Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time to get evidence. They don't get it immediately. It may take 6 months to get a 911 call. I don't know. But it takes time. So please be patient and don't take it out on your lawyer. He's trying to do the best he can. All I'm asking you to do is don't use alcohol, illegal drugs, and stay away from this person. Don't pick up any new cases.
Say yes, say yes.
listen,
Can you stay away from the person?
I don't be around.
And I don't want you to go near I don't want you to go where the gas station was. I don't want you to go to their house. I don't, nothing of this nature.
Can you do that?
Yes.
Tell the judge you can do that.
I can do that.
There you go.
I don't
That's it.
communicate.
That's it. You can do that.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. James, good luck, man.
Yes, sir, I'm yelling, troop around this.
All right.
island.
Come on.
I'm breaking them.
You need to sign it. This is it, right? Let's check. Let's check. Right here.
You have to sign for your recess, please.
It's okay, I'd like to come back maybe off docket, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, even though we have a setting out till May on this matter, just for the chance.
I would like you guys to also do a RIP, make sure that there are no issues, so just be aware. So Alan,
Yes, sir.
just give them a heads up
Yes,
when
sir.
you want so that they can have a RIP done, to make sure everything's.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And then, yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Council, my next report, I'm gonna send him to 49, to
Okay.
give instruction of the conditions in the device.
Okay, guys, thank you.
I highlighted your name.
Okay.
Friday. Yes.
Okay, guys.